This episode is brought to you by LinkedIn. Healthcare professionals can lead their careers with LinkedIn. Discover jobs by specialty, preferred shifts, and even desired salary. From mental health therapists to radiology technicians, it's now faster and easier for healthcare professionals to find the right fit. Learn more at linkedin.com/healthcare. Side effects may include faster job placement, improved work-life balance, and increased career satisfaction.
The family that vacations together stays together. At least, that was the plan. Except now, the dastardly desk clerk is saying he can't confirm your connecting rooms.
Wait, what?
That's right, ma'am. You have rooms 201 and 709.
No, we cannot be 5 floors away from our kids.
The doors have double locks. They'll be fine.
When you want connecting rooms confirmed before you arrive, it matters where you stay.
Welcome to Hilton. I see your connecting rooms are already confirmed.
Hilton, for this day.
Hello and welcome to I Talk to Ghosts. I'm your spirited host, Jennifer, the medium you can turn to for a good ghost story. Tonight, we're venturing into the delicate yet unsettling world of haunted dollhouses. Those teeny, perfect homes that seem innocent, but sometimes hold more than just miniature furniture. I loved dollhouses when I was a child, and I gleefully admit I still do. So why not seek a little spookiness with them as well? I can't wait to share these stories with you. And after the spooky, join me at my seance table. I'll have a new message from the spirits for someone listening to the podcast. And since you are, there may be a spirit out there ready to connect with you this evening. That's later on in the podcast. But first, the dollhouse ghosts. Dim the lights, settle in, and follow me. I got a dollhouse for my 7th birthday. It was perfect, or so I thought. A Victorian-style miniature with a bright red door, delicate wallpaper, and tiny furniture that seemed almost too fine for a child to play with. The only odd thing was, there was a locked room in the back. I had searched high and low for a tiny key, but my parents insisted there wasn't one. So, for weeks, I played with the rest of the house, moving the dolls from the parlor to the kitchen, brushing the little rugs, and rearranging tea sets just so. But curiosity gnawed at me every day. What could be in that one locked room? I'd peek around the outside of the house, but the curtains on the inside of those windows were heavy and drawn shut. One rainy afternoon, while I was examining a miniature desk in the dollhouse's study, I found a tiny drawer I hadn't noticed before. Inside was a small brass key, just big enough for a little door. My heart skipped. I finally was going to get some long-awaited answers. The key worked, and the door creaked open, revealing a single doll I hadn't seen before. It was plain, with dark, staring eyes and a pale face. It didn't match the rest of the dolls. I thought maybe it had been left behind by mistake. That night, I went to bed with the doll safely tucked in its chair. But later that night, I awoke to see a woman standing in the shadows at the end of my bed. Pale, quiet, and still. Her presence filled the room in a way I had never felt before. I was frozen, and I couldn't speak. And when I blinked, she was gone. The next morning, I decided something. My parents didn't know about the new doll, and I wasn't about to tell them. I took it outside, and I buried it behind the rose bushes in our backyard. I still loved the dollhouse, and I didn't want to give it up, but I was terrified of that doll and what it might bring with it. I never saw the ghostly woman again. I returned the key to its teeny desk drawer, and I wonder about if one day a future owner may open that drawer and find the little key. They'll see the locked room and wonder what the story was. I found the dollhouse at a small antique shop tucked away on a quiet street. It was beautiful, but one side, on the outside, was blackened, charred in places. The wood smelled faintly of smoke and varnish, and the shopkeeper mentioned the house had survived a blaze from decades ago, the family long gone. I found myself drawn to this dollhouse immediately. It was meant to be mine. At home, I placed the dollhouse carefully on a shelf in my living room, near the window where the late afternoon light could catch the teeny chandeliers and the patterned wallpaper. The dolls were delicate, their porcelain faces chipped in teeny, perfect ways. Over the next few days, I noticed small streaks of dark marks on some of the dolls' clothing that hadn't been there before. I told myself I just hadn't noticed. In a way, it drew me in to linger over everything longer, to study each detail. Sometimes, a chair looked slightly out of place, or a doll seemed to be facing a different direction than I remembered. I told myself I must have nudged them while dusting, or perhaps my eyes were playing tricks in the fading light. Still, this dollhouse seemed alive in a quiet way, insistent, as if it had a memory to it wanted to share. I didn't touch the dollhouse much after that, but there became this subtle weight to its presence, a lingering sense of it wanting more. The faint smell of smoke never fully left my room, and on occasion I'd notice a new darkened mark that reminded me of the home it represented hadn't survived. I keep it on the shelf, appreciating it from a distance. There's a kind of melancholy to it. Some pieces of history have a way of staying with you, quietly insisting that you remember them. I was 6 when my grandmother gave me her dollhouse. It was nearly as tall as I was then, with delicate wallpaper, wonderful touches of detail, even an ironwork balcony. She told me she'd had it since she was a girl, and when she passed it down to me, I felt like I was being trusted with something important. The first night it sat in my room, I woke up to the sound of voices, small, muffled, and quick, like people talking behind a wall. I thought maybe my parents had the television on downstairs, but when I got up, I realized it was way too late for that, and that the sound was coming from the dollhouse. I crouched low, put my ear to it, and listened. A man and a woman speaking too softly to make out the words. And then came a laugh. When I turned on my bedroom light, the dollhouse was silent. All the dolls were sitting where I left them, I told myself I was maybe just hearing things, and I climbed back into bed. When the sound started up again, I simply put my head under my blanket. In the morning, something was different. The little porcelain family had been rearranged. They were all sitting in the same room, looking at one of the corners, as though something had drawn their attention there. I tried to show my parents, but they said I had an active imagination. So eventually, I grew too anxious to sleep. I would cry and beg my parents to at least leave my bedroom light on. One morning, my mom quietly carried the dollhouse out of my room. I never saw it again. She said it was better to keep it in storage, somewhere safe. Now, as an adult with a daughter of my own, I sometimes think about that dollhouse. I now own the keys to the storage unit. But every time I consider unlocking it, something in me hesitates. My daughter doesn't need it, and some things I've decided are better left untouched.
Switch to Shiseido Benefiance Wrinkle Smoothing Eye Cream and discover why people are calling it the best eye cream. A powerhouse formula that targets 5 types of eye area wrinkles. 96% of users saw reduced wrinkles and diminished dark circles after just 7 days. Shop Shiseido Benefiance Wrinkle Smoothing Eye Cream at Sephora and discover how change can happen in the blink of an eye. Consumer tested by 110 women.
Welcome back to I Talk to Ghosts. I'm here at my seance table, conjuring up a message from the spirits tonight. So thank you for joining me in the candlelight. Tonight, as I work, I have with me chamomile and pyrite. Ooh, combination tonight. Chamomile is great. It's well known for its calming influence, but is also an element to work with, to let yourself shine, to let your best qualities be seen and noticed by others, and it gives you the support to be okay with that attention. And also pyrite is wonderful for abundance and prosperity. So this golden combination seems wonderful during this time of year of autumn to just celebrate what you have and amplify it, sharing it with others. Okay. I'm going to quiet my mind, open up the space for spirit to come close. There is a woman with me, and the first thing she's offering is her health burdens and her health struggle before she passed. It feels like she wants to give you all the love and gratitude for your care of her and how you were there for her so much. This feels like mother-daughter relationship, or if she was your grandmother, you related to her as a mother. She treated you as a daughter. Yeah, she's acknowledging that she was in hospice and it was just such a hard time for you. And though she was burdened, she didn't want you to have to be a part of that journey for her. She has the type of heart where she recognized your experience and your needs and didn't want you to have to deal with the emotions of all of that. But she's incredibly grateful for how much you were there for her. And now she's offering some lighter memories, some fun memories of bingo and the ongoing joke that she was cheating at the game. Let me see what else. She wants you to remember the happy times. She can't help but talk about how much you took on and how you managed it all. A small detail that I'm picking up on, she had glasses on, like one of those chains that kind of like a necklace at times. It was beaded, and the movement of it made a particular noise that you would distinctly remember. Her message for you is that she realizes that you're still grieving, and she wants you to know it's okay that you let this go a little bit. It's not wrong for you to do so. It's okay to live your life and even find happy moments again. It's as if you're reminded of her loss and then you get sad again, and she wants you to be happy. She wants you to let go of this a little bit and to reassure you that she's still connected to you. She says life keeps moving forward and to enjoy it. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you for sharing this space with me tonight, to trust in me, to deliver this message, and I hope this message finds who it was meant for. I trust in Spirit for that. Thank you. And with that, dear listener, we have reached the end of this episode of I Talk to Ghosts. I hope you've enjoyed my spirit work at the seance table this evening, as well as those creepy stories of haunted dollhouses. Do you have your own paranormal experience that involved a dollhouse? I would love to hear it, so please reach out. But wherever you wander off to, in this world or the next, just remember, come back and visit with me. Have a lovely evening and good night.
Fear Daily is a podcast that takes you into the shadows of the past, unearthing the 1990s most terrifying tales of monsters, madness, and life after death. Discovered on a forgotten bulletin board server somewhere in Pennsylvania's Rust Belt, these stories are an archive of humanity's strangest encounters with the unknown, as told by the people who experienced them. Written by Brennan Storr, creator of the Ghost Story Guys, and hosted by Brandon Schecksnyder of Southern Gothic, Fear Daily is your window into the dark corners of our world. Follow Fear Daily today on your favorite podcatcher to receive new episodes Monday through Friday, each and every week.
Welcome to Brew Crime, a true crime and beer podcast. Join me, Mike.
And me, JT.
As we explore the world of crime, conspiracies, or whatever catches our attention. This is a podcast where we pick a theme, cover a few cases, and pair them with a brew.
Between themes, we do what we call Brew Crime News, a funny look at current news stories, be it crime, animals, sports, or even celebrities.
You can find us on all social media at Brew Crime. Our website is brewcrime.com, and you can find us on any podcast app at Brew Crime Podcast.
Join us as we discuss the horrible crimes that surround us, and maybe, definitely, tip a bottle or two back as you do it. Drink with us weekly.